big raid on Dieppe, where Canadians and commandos put up such a grand show, is already history. And as we know, a small number of United States commandos or Rangers fought there too. Now, one of them has received the British Military Medal for the part he played, Corporal Coons.
As an American Ranger, I'm proud to have fought side by side with the English, Canadian, Fighting French commandos. They're all a swell bunch of boys.
Coons, did you do much shooting before you were in the Army?
Yes, I did a lot of hunting in Iowa, but I surely never enjoyed the hunting as much as I did on the coast of France.
Coons, were you frightened during the raid?
I'll say I was. I was certainly frightened at the time we landed, but I soon got over that when I began to see the action take place.
News from India includes a glimpse of the Royal Indian Army Service Corps, which turns camels into stretcher bearers. 2 casualties to 1 camel. I dare say it's not so bad when you're up in the air and on the move, but coming down to earth looks a bit unpleasant. A problem must be serious if it's on the front page. It's one of the many problems to be dealt with by police and troops in the province of Sindh, the serious amount of sabotage carried out by the tribesmen called Hers. These gentlemen, who are armed with a positive arsenal of old-world gangster weapons, are said to prefer the axe. However that may be, they've been doing a lot of damage, including train wrecking. Paratroops have been used to hunt down the criminals, and groups of a dozen or so can often be seen after capture on the way to the lockup and their trial. Robbery and murder come naturally to them. It has nothing to do with politics. Ceylon, more important than ever following the loss of Malaya and the East Indies, produces a great deal of our tea ration. Here's a typical scene as pluckers bring in their baskets of fresh tea leaves to be weighed. Ceylon produces hundreds of millions of pounds a year. Many plantations grow rubber as well as tea, and we know the added importance of Ceylon's rubber industry today. The islands used to produce only about 10% of the world's rubber, but now every effort must be made to increase acreage and production. The extension of scientific methods like bud grafting will prove a big help. Buds from branches of healthy trees of high yield are grafted onto younger trees. There goes the bud under the strip of bark. Now for the waterproof bandage. Later, after the bud is taken, the new tree is seen to be flourishing while the original one has been cut away. By this method, yield per acre may be increased 3-fold or more when the trees come into bearing about 5 years later. Meanwhile, Ceylon is going all out to fill at least part of the gap, tapping every available tree, collecting every drop of latex, processing every scrap of rubber into the best crepe, such as we used to have on our shoes. Yes, there's more than one good reason for the added importance of Ceylon today. In the guarding of the country, a big part is being played by Catalina flying boats. This happens to be a Canadian squadron which maintains a vital patrol over the Indian Ocean, keeping a constant long-distance lookout for further attack by the Japs. The last time they approached the island, they were very severely handled. The Catalinas mean to give our defenders plenty of warning should the need arise again. New airfields have had to be constructed in Ceylon, of course, and this involves, first of all, the removal of the forest and its undergrowth. Bulldozers are sometimes used with success. The laborer and his axe are always successful. And elephants kindly lend a trunk or even a hand in clearing up the timber. We know what's what. If a log's shiftable, we shifts it. There was a time when scenes of terror like those bombs falling on Chongqing or the ruin and devastation that followed only emphasized Japan's ability to deal out death almost unopposed. In those terrible days, Mrs. Chiang Kai-shek and her sisters personally led China's organizations of relief for the destitute and care for the wounded. They set a magnificent example to China and the world, while the Generalissimo and his united countrymen fought for freedom alone. Now it's different. Buildings are going up again, and Allied airmen, chiefly the AVG, now part of the United States Army Air Corps, have already turned many Japanese raiders back or shot them down. As Movietone's cameraman, Alec Tozer, shows in this film, the Chinese capital is still very much alive. People read the battle news from other fronts of the World War, while in many streets posters call for even greater effort at home. It is an honor for you to send your sons to the front. Look after the soldiers' families at home. The more men we have at the front, the more invaders we can kill. Chinese cavalry wiping out the Japanese, and so on. Chongqing is built on a rocky peninsula where the Qialing River joins the Yangtze, and the stone steps from the ferry are a prominent feature of the city. Step-climbing ponies can be hired to take you or your luggage up to the top. Or you can go by chair, as the British ambassador's seen doing here. To encourage the youth of China to become air-minded, Chongqing has its Paragoda, where first lessons in parachuting are now very popular. Yes, comparative safety has returned to the streets of Chongqing and its heroic people. May the day come quickly when China, with Allied help, drives the Japanese out of her land. What a terrific fight China has put up under her great leaders, the Gissimo and his wife.